Good day, all kings and queens, all gods and goddesses, all beautiful people. I am Beef Lost the God, and today I just want to talk about persistence, right? Persistence brings achievements, alright? Now, when it comes to persisting in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, persisting in manifesting your goals, right? Now, on your way on your way to manifesting your goals, it doesn't matter if you waver a bit, if you start to have doubts and fears and worries, right? If you decide to take a break, the most important thing is to persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. All right, even if you decide to take a little break, even if you decide, even if you start to waver a bit or worry or have those doubts, as long as you persist, you have to manifest what it is that you desire, right? And you will, because that is just the law. That is just pure facts. Anything that you persist in, it has to materialize. All right. For instance, let's say you wanted to chop down a tree, right? And you start chopping this tree, and then after a while, because you haven't seen any evidence, that is looking shaky or that is about to fall, because you haven't seen any evidence of that, you decide to quit for good. You decide to quit, and you're not persisting, you're not continuing. What do you think is going to happen? The tree, it will not fall. It will basically just stay there, right? But if you decide to take a break because you're feeling a bit tired or what's not, but then you decide to go back at it again and persist in it, and then let's say you start to feel tired again and you decide to take a break, right? But then you persist again, you go back at it again, right? By continuously doing that and persisting in that act, the tree has to fall, right? Because you're persisting in it is a fact. Anything you do with persistence, right? It has to has an effect and it has to bring about those results, right? Now, some people may say, okay, well, you don't have to persist in order to manifest, right? And I spoke about this in my last video where I manifested 3 books by Neville Goddard, right? Now, I did the affirmational act just once within a day, right? And I did it so intense and I felt the feeling of already having that book. I just dropped it and totally forgot all about it, right? Because, as I said before, it wasn't really a necessity for me because I usually watch Neville Goddard's lectures on YouTube as well. So, I had no doubts or worries or fears surrounding owning the book, right? Because it didn't really it didn't matter to me if I got the book or not, right? But I wanted it, but it wasn't really a necessity, right? But anyhow, I had no doubts or worries or fears surrounding that manifestation, right? So by doing that one interval and feeling the feeling of the wish fulfilled, yes, I didn't persist in the act itself, as in like repeating the affirmations like every single day. But what I did persist in was the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Because since I had no worries or doubts about it, you know, I was already walking as the man who already had that book. I was already walking in the wish fulfilled, right? I had no worries or doubts or anything, so I had no blockages towards that manifestation. So it came about within the right time, right? Even though it took, like, say, about several months, it did come about because I felt the intensity of it. I felt it real. I had no doubts or worries about it, even though I didn't persist in the actual act, but I persisted in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So persistence, just like affirmations and scripting and your imaginary acts, that's also a tool to get you to the end result, right? And it is very important when it comes to what I would say the bigger goals, right? Like say like riches, having that specific person, because deep down inside we all have this thing because our subconscious mind was programmed for all these years. We have this, most of us have this thing like, we came up feeling like really not worthy, of having such things, such like luxuries and certain people in our life, right? That's why the concept of ourself is so important, and I'm gonna get to that. I will get to that in a minute, right? So, right. So basically, persisting, right? Persisting, it is very important, right? Because coming up, the years we spent coming up with all those beliefs embedded in us, deep down inside of us, right? Those negative beliefs, right? That's why the persisting in the wish fulfilled is very important, right? To reprogram our subconscious mind, right? And to help bring about our manifestations in the best suitable way, right? Now, when it comes to the concept of ourselves, right? That is so important, right? That is why some people, they tend to manifest things, they've been there too, right? And not keep them, right? It's not consistent because even though we're using these tools to manifest what we want, after a while, certain past experiences and stuff, they still tend to creep in about ourselves, right? So that is why it's very important to also persist in the concept of yourself and how you see yourself, how you view yourself, right? More so than the actual goal itself, right? So that's why persisting in the concept of yourself and how you see yourself is very important every single day, and it does not stop because the subconscious mind is so powerful. This is what me and a partner of mine was discussing this morning, how powerful the subconscious mind is, right? Because all those fears and negative beliefs are still embedded deep down inside of us, no matter how confident we may seem to be. So every day persisting on the concept of ourselves, seeing ourselves as confident, as the person that can have anything they want, always having more than enough, right? Affirmations like that, you're telling yourself those things every single day, and just to drown out all those negative beliefs every single day. It does not stop, right? That is very important. That is why some people some people who are always in the meditative state every single day, they don't use like affirmations and those kind of things, but yet still they seem to manifest quickly, right? Because they're in that meditative state of total calmness and serenity and peace, right? Within themselves. They're confident and whole within themselves. So all those things will be added unto them, right? And even if you aren't feeling whole within, yes, you can still manifest, but it's keeping these things now, right? When you get them. That is why the concept of yourself and persisting in the concept of yourself, right? Seeing yourself as that positive, badass, confident person that can have anything they want. See yourself as a god or a goddess every single day is very, very, very important. Along with manifesting your goals, using the tools to manifest your goals. Because, you still have a choice, you know, because you are the God and you have power to shape your reality, right? So you still have a choice to use these tools to be as specific as you want to be, right? To bring these things into fruition, all right? So that's just my thoughts on persisting, right? And why it is very important and how persistence brings about achievements, right? As long as you do not quit and you continue to persist, even if you waver or doubt, as long as you get back on that train, you keep going and you keep going, you have to get there. You have to get there. All right? You have to get there. And that persistence is very important, as I said before, when it comes to like those bigger goals, what we call those bigger goals that we may seem that we are not worthy of, right? Persistence helps a lot in that area, right? More so than like other what I would call the smaller goals, where you would just feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled and just dropping it and forgetting all about it, right? Because there is no resistance there, right? So the persistence is key when it comes to those bigger goals where you might tend to have resistance around, right? Because even though you may not be aware of them, deep down inside they are still there, right? So the persistence is very, very important. And also so that you won't miss the mark. Because I've been there too, I missed the mark on one or two things already too. Because you might set the intention right and you might not be intense enough when it comes to setting that intention, using your affirmations or scripting or whatever it is you're doing. You may not be intense enough at that time. So you might just do it once and drop it, and probably years gone by or something, you never saw that manifestation, right? It's because you didn't persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled either, right? You may not be You may not in that interval, that one interval, you probably was not intense enough, right, to be in the wish fulfilled. But even so, you still dropped it, right? So that is another reason why persistence is key, so that you won't miss the mark. All right. So that's just my thoughts on persistence and how persistence brings about achievements. All right. So with that being said, I am Beef Lost to God, and I'm sending my love, peace, joy, and prosperity to one and all. And I want to thank each and every one of you once again for subscribing to my channel and supporting as usual. Click the bell icon for more videos to come and more success manifestation stories as well. And don't forget, persistence is key. Mostly persisting in the concept of yourself. That is more important than anything, right? Persisting that every single day, all right? The concept of yourself, while also persisting in manifesting your goals as well. All right. So even if you waver or you doubt a little bit, as long as you get back on that train and you keep on going, you can never go wrong. All right. No matter how long it may seem to take, keep going and be the type of person that don't stop until they get what they desire, right? And let's all embody that same type of attitude. Do not stop. It doesn't matter what this 3D world looks like. It's an illusion. Fuck it. You are the god and the goddess. And you can have whatever it is you want. Specific person, house, car, job, it does not matter. Persist, persist, persist. I am Be Floss to God, and I'm out.